It's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Monday, December 12th, 2022. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. In a moment, Pamela Musgrove will be joining us. Also this morning, we'll be talking with BTVI about their tuition grant promotion. And later in Morning Blend Business, the CFAL Holiday Savings Drawing is going to take place, and we'll talk about savings in general as well. That's coming up. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while you were sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, FTX, Bahamas' liquidators filing an emergency motion asking a Delaware bankruptcy judge for access to certain electronic records related to FTX Digital's property and financial affairs. The liquidators noting in the court filing Friday that, quote, although FTX Digital owns its electronic records, access to this property is in the control of the U.S. debtors and therefore arguably protected by the automatic stay. Because the joint provisional liquidators need access to both the FTX Digital records and other recorded information relating to FTX Digital's property and financial affairs in order to protect the interests of the FTX Digital estate, the joint provisional liquidators, as the foreign representatives of the Bahamian Provisional Liquidation, urgently seek an order from the court lifting the stay in the Chapter 11 cases and requiring the U.S. debtors to provide access to the recorded information. FTX filed for bankruptcy last month after experiencing a liquidity crisis. The Securities Commission of the Bahamas has frozen the company's assets, and the provisional liquidators have been appointed by the Bahamian Supreme Court. Acknowledging this, the liquidators said on Friday that a fundamental part of their court-mandated duties urgently require access to certain electronic records related to FTX Digital's property and financial affairs so that they can identify the company's assets, investigate potential claims, and maintain value available to FTX Digital creditors. Now, the news. Although grocers who are members of the Retail Grocers Association failed to change their prices to be in line with the government's gazetted margins, Minister of Economic Affairs Michael Halkitis says that inspectors reported that grocers are by and large compliant. The new margins on 38 categories of items announced by the Prime Minister in October. Super Value owner Rupert Roberts telling the National Guardian last week that as far as grocers are concerned, they're still in negotiations with the government. It's still waiting to hear back from the government on their counter-proposal sent in weeks ago. Following Roberts' comments, Halkitis instructed the inspectors to visit grocery stores. The National Guardian asked the minister what the inspectors found. Halkitis yesterday saying that inspectors have been out in New Providence and Grand Bahama and that, quote, by and large, businesses are compliant with the margins in place. Asked if any stores were not compliant, he said that they've encountered some minor issues, but they will give the businesses an opportunity to correct. Halkitis said the same thing last month when asked if grocers were compliant. 2 men killed within hours of each other in traffic accidents on Eleuthera. In the first incident, which occurred shortly after 3 a.m. yesterday on Queens Highway in Governor's Harbor, police reported that a woman was driving a black Honda Stream when she crashed into a wall and a tree. While the woman sustained injuries and was treated by a doctor and discharged, her male passenger died on the scene. Meanwhile, just over 8 hours later, police were called for another traffic accident a few miles north in Hatchet Bay, where a 30-year-old man was found dead. Police say the man, who was a passenger on the back of a 2006 Chevy Silverado pickup, was traveling north along Queens Highway, fell from the truck as the driver was overtaking another vehicle. Police also reported the death of a 70-year-old man of 8 Mile Rock, Grand Bahama, after he was struck by a vehicle while crossing the road shortly after midnight on Saturday. The driver, a 31-year-old man, was headed west along Queens Highway in a silver 2013 Cadillac XTX. Just over 24 hours later, police reported a traffic accident in New Providence, resulting in the death of a 19-year-old man. Police say that the man was riding a red and green Yamaha Krypton scooter shortly after 4 a.m. near University Drive when he was struck by a silver Nissan Cube. The man was taken to the hospital via EMS personnel where he died. And prosecutors are seeking a sentence in the range of 40 to 45 years for a murder convict who fatally shot an unarmed man at the El Rancho bar in 2018. 30-year-old Vernal Johnson, who was on bail during his trial, has been on remand awaiting sentencing since a jury convicted him of the February 9th, 2018 murder of Rico Bobo Taylor on August 5th. A murder conviction attracts a potential sentence of 30 to 60 years imprisonment. While the prosecutor, Timothy Bailey, suggested in the middle of the sentencing range, defense lawyer Sonia Timothy argued that Johnson should be sentenced to 30 years. To support her argument, Timothy said that unlike his victim, Johnson was of good character with no convictions at the time of the murder. By contrast, the prosecutor said that Johnson's victim was in the hands of the law and had been released from prison a few months before his death. Overseas, Peru's newest president, Dina Boluarte, giving in to protesters' demands early today, announcing in a nationally televised address that she will send Congress a proposal to move up elections. Boluarte's decision coming after thousands of demonstrators took to the streets around Peru for another day Sunday to demand that she resign and schedule elections to replace her and Congress. The protest turned deadly with at least 2 reported deaths in a remote community in the Andes, according to officials there. Boluarte says she will propose the scheduling of elections for April 2024. That marks a reversal, as she had previously said she should be allowed to hold the office for the remaining 3.5 years of her predecessor's term. Many of the demonstrators in the ongoing political crisis are demanding the release from custody of Pedro Castillo, the center-left president ousted Wednesday by lawmakers after he sought to dissolve Congress ahead of an impeachment vote. The protests rocking Peru heated up particularly in rural areas, strongholds for Castillo, a former school teacher and political newcomer from a poor Andean mountain district. Protesters set fire to a police station, vandalized a small airport used by armed forces, and marched in the streets. A 15-year-old boy died of an injury suffered during a protest in the remote Andes community, according to a congresswoman who made an impassioned plea from the legislative palace for Boluarte to step down. And China planned to stop tracking some travel today, potentially reducing the likelihood people will be forced into quarantine for visiting COVID hotspots. That's part of an uncertain exit from the strict pandemic policies that helped fuel widespread protests. At midnight, the smartphone app that recorded a person's travel between cities and provinces will be disabled. Another app used to restrict the movement of those who test positive or enter an area with a recent outbreak remains in effect. They're part of a package of pandemic apps, some of which have also been used by local governments to suppress protests. In sports, Team Bahamas giving a good effort over the weekend in the bronze medal game at the 4th annual CONCACAF, the Confederation Caribbean Baseball Cup, at the Andre Rogers National Stadium, but just couldn't get the key hits and outs when they needed them. So the Bahamas fall into Curacao 4-2. thereby losing out on the bronze and an automatic qualifying spot for the 2023 Central American and Caribbean Games. For a good portion of the week-long tournament, the Bahamas struggled to get key hits when they needed them. It proved to be no different on Sunday, particularly in the later innings. The Bahamas struck first, taking a 2-0 lead on Deshaun Knowles' 2-run home in the top of the sixth inning, but Curaçao scored 4 runs in the bottom half of that inning to surge ahead. Neither team cracked the scoreboard for the rest of the way. You can read all about it in today's Guardian Sports section. And in NFL Sunday Night Football, the Miami Dolphins in prime time falling to the LA Chargers 23-17. The Chargers moved to 7-6, moving into position for the final AFC playoff berth ahead of the New York Jets. Their hold, though, will be short-lived if New England beats Arizona tonight. And from the NBA, Paul Silas, a 3-time NBA champion and longtime coach, has passed away. Silas died, according to his family, on Sunday. He was a player, coach, and president of the NBA Players Association. Paul Silas, dead at 79. That's sports. And that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. Your first look at weather for this morning. We've got a frontal trough that will continue to weaken across the area while supporting pockets of shower activity. Meanwhile, another weak cold front is expected to migrate into the extreme northwest Bahamas by tonight. Elsewhere, a low-pressure system centered well to the northeast of the area will continue to support swells across the islands today. Small craft operators advised to remain alert due to high seas offshore, while beachgoers should stay out of the water due to rough surf and the elevated risk of dangerous rip currents. Meanwhile, motorists and pedestrians should exercise caution along coastal roads, especially the Glass Window Bridge in Eleuthera. For all areas today, we're looking at variably cloudy and warm conditions with a few scattered showers through tonight. For boaters, a small craft advisory remains in effect due to swells. Small craft should be alert for gusty winds and higher seas in or near heavy showers or thunderstorms. Winds northwest to north at 10 to 15 knots, falling light and variable at times in the northwest Bahamas. Variable at less than 10 knots in the central and southeast Bahamas. Seas 2 to 4 feet in the northwest Bahamas, but 3 feet or less in the central and southeastern islands. Seas up to 6 to 9 feet across all areas in northeasterly swells. Temperature-wise today, we're looking at highs getting up to around 82 Fahrenheit, 28 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to a cool 66 Fahrenheit, 19 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook coming up after traffic in just a bit.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up.
You're listening to Morning Blend. When we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on Guardian Radio 96.9, your home for fresh news and smart talk all day.
It's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
used to think of the bank as my personal ATM machine. If I wanted a new car, new furniture, a weekend trip to Miami, no problem. Just max out the credit card or top up my loan. I was a big baller until I realized that 75% of my salary was going to pay back all those loans. Fidelity's personal financial coaching was the best solution. Fidelity gave me a plan with a debt consolidation loan that has a built-in savings that pays 5% interest. I now only have one low monthly payment plus money in my pocket. Give Fidelity Bank a call at 37764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit any of Fidelity's locations or visit a website at fidelitygroup.com.
The holidays are a time for reflection on the year past, reconnecting with family and friends, and indulging in brand new experiences. No matter what your holiday may bring, at Rev, we want to remind you to do it together. Play together, watch together, be together. Take time this Christmas to connect with the people and things that really matter. And let Rev take care of home for the holidays. Merry Christmas, Bahamas!
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas, Channel 969, and BTC Flow, Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us 422-4796. Standard text rates apply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining me now, Pamela Musgrove.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Bahamas.
Good morning, Pam. Great to have you with us as
Good
always.
to be here.
And we've got the studio in the festive mood. Getting there slowly. And are you feeling it? Are you feeling the holidays spirit?
Yeah.
I mean, beyond in here.
No, I know I am.
Yeah?
I
That's
am.
good.
I
That's
am.
good.
If you travel on Saturdays, it's just, I mean, people are everywhere.
Yesterday as well.
Yeah, so yes, I am.
Clearly.
And
On the streets, people are feeling something.
yes, and it's a good feeling.
Yeah,
It's a good feeling.
all right. So, hey, 2 weeks. 2 weeks to go.
Isn't that amazing? It's right there.
Yeah.
Like next week, right, is New Year, it's Christmas Eve.
Yeah, next
weekend.
week, Saturday. Yeah, is
it's right
Christmas
there.
Eve and the following Sunday. So, 2 weeks from yesterday.
Yeah.
So, it's here. And then that means 2023 is right there. So, boy, I tell you. Anyway, all right, so we got a lot to get to this morning. Coming up in our 8 o'clock hour, we're going to be talking with BTVI about their tuition grant program. They'll give us all the details about that. You definitely don't want to miss that great information coming from that. And then every year we're very gracious that they choose us to draw the name who's going to get a little boost from the CFAL Holiday Savings Plan. And then we'll talk about the plan and about we'll find out who the winner is that gets some extra money in addition to what they've been saving all year. And I'm looking forward to that coming up in business. So that's all straight ahead, but let's begin with what else is in the news. And in the news, the big headlines in the papers, FTX again. FTX liquidators being frustrated, seeking the U.S. court approval to access records. Liquidators here in the Bahamas. The Tribune puts it like this: FTX liquidator is frozen out. Access to company records blocked and documents could be lost forever. Oh boy. This seems really familiar. Sounds like something else a few years back when with little information here, but everything was happening over in Delaware.
And still happening.
Yeah. Right? You're right.
Still
That's
happening.
still going on.
Still
right?
happening.
Yeah, right. Doesn't
And
sound like...
we I guess our concern in that case was just the asset being open and operating.
Right. Yeah.
And that's
the
what's
behind the
happening, but
scenes
behind the
drama.
scenes,
Let
yeah.
them fight that out in court. We're talking about Bahamas. You don't get what we're talking
Yeah.
about. But anyway, so this seems...
And I just personally disagree with that. With how that operates.
Yeah.
You know, I think with all of these situations that we're having, I think it is cause for our officials to review the law and see what needs to be done to amend it,
Yeah.
and not continue on with these 100+ year laws that have existed on our books and at the end don't really benefit us all that well.
So I don't know anything about this, but I'm just wondering, is there a way that if you're going to be headquartered here, if you're going to be domiciled here, whatever it is, that whatever needs to happen, if there is bankruptcy, that it has to take place, that we can order you to make sure it takes place in the Bahamas as opposed to
we
going
don't
to
have
Delaware?
bankruptcy laws.
We don't have that.
Yeah.
So that
we
would
have
be the issue.
liquidation and provisional liquidation.
Yeah.
The liquidation is when the provisional liquidating, what is happening now is just the liquidators, really provisional liquidators, keep the status quo. They cannot distribute assets. They
Yeah.
kind of keep the status quo until the real hearing is occurred, when the liquidators would come in and distribute assets. So
Yeah.
I'm saying with all of these situations that we're having, don't you think it's time
It's
for
time.
the expert to look at it and even tweaking it? Like,
Yeah.
you may keep it, but then add some elements of what is happening with other law that can be beneficial
Yeah.
to us. But we just double down on our system and we just continue as is.
Yeah. Wow. All right. So here's what's going on. Our Jasper Ward writing about it. FTX Bahamas' liquidators on Friday filed an emergency motion asking a Delaware bankruptcy judge for access to certain electronic records related to FTX Digital's property and financial affairs. The liquidators noting in the court filing, quote, although FTX Digital owns its electronic records, access to this property is in the control of the U.S. debtors and therefore arguably protected by the automatic stay. Because the joint provisional liquidators need access to both the FTX Digital records and other recorded information relating to FTX Digital's property and financial affairs, in order to protect the interests of the FTX Digital estate, the joint provisional liquidators, as the foreign representatives of the Bahamian provisional liquidation, urgently seek an order from this court lifting the stay in the Chapter 11 cases and requiring the U.S. debtors to provide access to this recorded information. Now, as you know, FTX filed for bankruptcy last month after experiencing a liquidity crisis. And the Securities Commission of the Bahamas has frozen the company's assets, and the provisional liquidators have been appointed by the Bahamian Supreme Court. Acknowledging this, the liquidators said on Friday that a fundamental part of their court-mandated duties, quote, urgently require access to certain electronic records related to FTX Digital's property and financial affairs. so that they can identify the company's assets, investigate potential claims, and maintain value available to FTX Digital creditors. It says that access to this information, however, was abruptly cut off on or about November 12th, 2022, and the U.S. debtors have the ability to restore it. Despite some encouraging statements from U.S. Debtors Council, no progress has been made in restoring that access, frustrating the ability of the joint provisional liquidators to perform their duties mandated under Bahamian law. The liquidators said they have engaged with the U.S. debtors in an attempt to find a mutually agreeable solution, but have had no luck so far. They said they have not had access to the systems and no other information has been shared. They said, quote, without access, there is a great risk that FTX Digital will suffer severe financial harm as the joint provisional liquidators will be unable to promptly identify, locate, and protect assets at risk of dissipation. Moreover, information that is potentially critical to the joint provisional liquidators' investigation may be automatically purged if access is not secured. While noting that they remain hopeful that an agreed solution can be negotiated with the U.S. debtors, the liquidators said they are compelled to seek the relief sought in the motion. Well, now, as you know, FTX's collapse last month sent shockwaves across the cryptocurrency industry. Officials have said in court documents that there is evidence of fraud and mismanagement at FTX. The company has over 100 companies in over 20 countries. It lost between $10 billion and $50 billion, according to court documents. The U.S. House Financial Services Committee will begin a hearing on FTX's collapse tomorrow. Former FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried on Friday expressed his willingness to testify before the committee. He tweeted, quote, I will try to be helpful during the hearing and to shed what light I can on FTX US's solvency and American customers, pathways that could return value to users internationally, what I think led to the crash, and my own failings. Wow. Okay. Oh boy. So, what do you think? What do you think? You think they're going to have much luck? This plea to the court, the U.S. court.
See, to me, it's the difference with jurisdiction. We have liquidation, provisional liquidation, and they have bankruptcy. And I believe the now president of FTX U.S. is trying to use this as bargaining tools, as a bargaining tool to help them with getting the necessary information. I personally, Dwight, prefer the U.S. to deal with it because by that we get information.
Yeah.
Most of the information that's out there is coming from the U.S.
Yeah.
We get nothing over here.
Yeah.
We claim
Always.
this before the courts, and I still don't understand how a provisional liquidation can be considered before the courts and for persons to remain silent, excuse me, on exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
And so they're saying that this freeze came 2 days after the provisional liquidators were appointed, a day after Sam Bankman-Fried announced that they were prioritizing Bahamian withdrawals, and also around the same time that our Securities Commission indicated that they transferred assets to a secure location. So obviously these things may have, I don't know, prompted these guys in the U.S. to do what they did, and they're not going to give that information over to us freely. They're going to want something in return, something which we are holding back from. We are saying it has to go before the courts, and they're not going to take that risk.
Right.
They're not going to take that risk.
Yeah. Right. And this status quo that we love to do here is really just not working.
And it amazes me, like I said, when we have these instances, these are the times to review what we are doing and see where changes need to be made. But we tend not to do that.
People are talking less now than they were before, which is
Yeah.
amazing. And we have less certainty. They're not defending themselves. All these things that are being said by everybody, locally and abroad. Very little is being said to address that. They're just like, we'll see if it just blows off, or blows away or something, blows over. But it's not happening.
Yeah.
And the reputation is being damaged even further. and
Damaged,
further.
yeah. I know a lot of persons say, well, the U.S. could talk because, they had Bernie Madoff and all of these other instances that happened. But the difference with them and us is that you don't see the government or the regulators trying to hide things.
Right.
You see them have this out there. So people in the public realm, they know what's going on and they try these things openly. The difference with us is we try to keep a lid on it. And I think that is damaging our reputation. We cannot control what they say. They're gonna talk and talk and talk. We cannot control that.
Yeah.
But what we can control is defending our brand and putting information out there and showing that we are transparent and we too are trying to get to the bottom of this. But we have not levied any accusation against Sam Bankman-Fried when he has gone out there and apologized. What is he apologizing for?
Yeah. Yeah.
He did something, but we are not saying that. We are not coming out and saying we're trying to get to the bottom of this to make sure that clients and creditors' monies are secured. We're not mentioning anything.
quite
But Sam
perplexing.
is out there saying, I'm sorry, and I heard an interview with him, and he is talking as if he was a one-man band.
Sounds like
Like he did everything which is against our legislation. You have to have systems and people in place to execute. But Sam was like, okay, I'm doing all these different things, and I forgot to do that.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah. Yep.
And that is damaging our reputation. That's
Absolutely.
what's damaging. I don't think so much the fact that it failed here. I think what is happening after it failed.
Yeah. And I'm sure people will say, well, see, that shouldn't have happened. If your regulators were paying attention, they would have known that he was a one-man band, or at least investigated to see if there are the checks and balances in place. And so I don't
And
know
it
if
would be
that's why they're not
interesting.
talking.
And this way of freedom of information would have been important. It would have been interesting to see what type of license did Sam received from our regulators.
Yeah.
Because I get the feeling he was operating outside of that license that was granted. The things that he was doing, almost like he was operating as an investment company when all he got a license for an exchange. What type of license did Sam receive? Can we know that? No, we're not going to find that out. That's why I prefer the U.S. to have it, because if they have it, more of that information will be funneled down to us and we'll get a better understanding of what's going on.
Yeah, either through, when it comes out of the press in the U.S. or maybe the Netflix documentary in a couple of years, I guess.
No, it comes out now because they don't hold on to these things.
Yeah.
They don't hold on to them. Yeah.
And we'll find out what the Bahamians did or did not do
Well,
from those folks.
the collateral damage.
Let's hear what you have to say about this. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Pat.
Hi, good morning.
This conversation has prompted me to call this program right away because I'm going to tell you, Pam, you are absolutely correct in all of your assertions and your commentary this morning. You're talking about the reputation of this country. I'm going to tell you, precedence has already been set from the last case. Okay, let's be frank and honest with this. The mere fact that the Delaware courts in the last case wanted full disclosure of everything, leaving no stone unturned. Our courts here decided to seal documents and to keep the information away from the public that caused public distrust and also a ripple effect across the international community. This is no surprise to a person like me who's been following the last case very closely. All right? And if precedence has already been set from that one, and you see similarities in terms of operation, how our courts look at things that the Delaware court perhaps and their lawyers will perhaps go more in depth with finding all the relevant information that is going to require a sound judgment at the end of the day. I'm going to tell you, the reputation of this country is already at stake. We have to get very serious about getting our courts to stop this nonsense about sealing documents when it should be to the public's access, so we can fully understand as well, even though there are some things in the case that we may not, but at least we can make an intelligent decision on what may have happened, what possibly could have happened, and what we could have done differently. So precedence has already been set. I'm going to follow this case even a lot more closer to see the exact similarities in the way that our operations here in the Bahamas equate and reflect against the international way of really getting the information, especially in the absence of the Freedom of Information Act that we still today do not fully enjoy. Thanks for taking my call this morning.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Continue to call in, folks. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. All right, some text messages here. Someone says here, the Bahamas deals with England law and deal with U.S. politically.
They're probably saying we have English laws, but then we try to want to align more with U.S. type politics. I think that's just because all of the networks that we get.
You mean like
American
television networks?
Yeah,
Okay.
all of the networks American.
Yeah.
For those who have cable, you get
it's
Fox. Well, they
influencing.
took out Fox because I guess it was becoming too expensive. But you have MSNBC, you have OAN, that's another conservative station, CBS. All of those are U.S. So we are heavily influenced by what goes on in the U.S. And we just have the BBC, which is a mixture of U.S. and a bit of English.
Yeah.
News.
This person says our lawmakers are lazy when it comes to amending our laws to benefit the country. They are only there to enrich themselves and pander to their families, friends, and lovers. Well, okay. This one says here the government pretty much is hush-hush concerning FTX. The Securities Commission has yet to refute the claim that Sam Bankman-Fried emailed them to say that he was going to allow Bahamas to withdraw their funds. Allow funds to be withdrawn in the Bahamas, sure. And Bankman-Fried, and something is fishy here. Also, the Securities Commission falls under the Prime Minister's portfolio. But they don't. They're largely an independent body, if that is the case. But they're largely independent. But yeah, they do need to respond to quite a few things that have been said over the past few days. The silence is not working. And in that one, they do need to respond. Why did they receive some information from Sam Bankman-Fried, like he said?
I am still confused on that, Dwight. I am still, when they say Bahamian investors, I am confused on that because if that is the case, again, what type of license did Sam receive? Sam Bankman-Fried receive? He had an exchange. Did he have an investment license? Was he allowed to collect funds from persons and invest it? That's the first thing. And I'm confused about that because in order for you to invest these market legally, you would have to receive approval from the controller of the central bank, giving you, or if it's a certain amount, you can go directly to the banks, but they have this record. So it should be on record just how many persons legally were able, how many Bahamian residents and persons were able to invest in FTX. That should be on record.
I think we will ever know, at least from these folks here.
But again, that's something that's simple. That's not disclosing any national security interests.
Right.
How many persons on record applied to invest in? So I don't understand. Are they saying these are foreign companies within the Bahamas that invested? Because I'm confused on that. Even that I would like to have clarity on. But that's why I say I prefer the U.S. to handle it, because once the U.S. handles it, we get all the information we need on the matter.
Absolutely. We're gonna see. We're gonna see what comes out of it. And it's amazing that we're still here all these weeks later, and there is so little being said from our authorities on at least refuting some of the things they are hearing. Obviously, they're hearing it too, right? And these interviews that Sam Bankman-Fried is giving everywhere.
Yeah, but they shouldn't be catch up. It shouldn't be a catch up. It should be where you are exactly ahead of it, and think that in this era, people are really focused on transparency. They want you to be transparent with what you're doing, particularly how this crypto is global. This crypto industry is global. This is not just something confined to the Bahamas. This is global. And the way to protect your reputation is to be transparent and show that you are doing as much as you can, all that you can, to get to the bottom of what has happened.
Absolutely. All right. Give us a call, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. All right. A couple more text messages before we take a break. This person says here, investing in FTX for Bahamian citizens seems to have been an open secret, like all of the crimes that go on in this country. Well, again, like Pam was saying, you could get permission, apparently.
You
had to get permission.
You had to.
Yeah. So
if you did it, illegally.
Yeah.
But that's the law.
But it would be good to know, like you said, how many people fell into this category. This one says that the government will keep this sealed because most of them are mixed up in it. Well, now, what are you talking about there? Because keep what sealed? That information about who all invested? That's what you mean? Oh, okay.
But I wouldn't say that. I just want to know, as an individual who is in the financial services industry, I want to know as much about the case so that I can make informed decisions and not to be in the middle of all of this happening in our country and we know nothing.
Yeah.
So whichever medium is going to help me to know as much as possible about this case, I prefer to side with that medium.
Absolutely. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, more of what's making news on this Monday morning. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
City sidewalks, busy sidewalks, dressed in holiday style. In the air, there's a feeling of Christmas. Children laughing, people passing, meeting smile, laughter, smile, and on every street corner you'll hear silver bells, silver bells, it's Christmas time in the city.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
And at 7:40, it is time for your first look at traffic for this morning, brought to you by RBC. Make this Christmas whatever you want it to be with an RBC personal loan. Here's what's happening in your real-time traffic. A reminder about driving along coastal roads. There could be some issues, especially if you are in Eleuthera and the glass window bridge because of the weather issues. So keep that in mind. In your real-time traffic in New Providence this morning, Mile Butler Highway, as usual, heavy traffic from Fire Trail Roundabout all the way up to Tonique Williams Darling Highway Roundabout. And traffic is building along Fire Trail as well, eastbound to that roundabout with Fire Trail and Mile Butler Highway. Gladstone looking busy as well, but further north of Fire Trail, the intersection there is where you'll see that traffic in front of you, northbound to JFK Drive. Carmichael eastbound building traffic to Blue Hill Road, and Blue Hill Road's busy and getting busier just north of Soldier Road, especially as you get over that hill heading to the roundabout with Independence Drive. Independence Drive westbound seeing some building traffic as well. And East Street between Soldier and the roundabout at Independence Drive and East-West Highway, also building traffic there. Prince Charles Drive at some spots, especially near Elizabeth Estates and at the Fox Hill intersection, and then at Beatrice Avenue. And Robinson Road between Soldier and Old Trail looking busy. We've also got Marathon Road northbound looking like slow-going traffic this morning, northbound to the roundabout with Wolf Road, and Eastern Road from just east of Fox Hill to about Johnson Road, heavy traffic westbound for you this morning. That's what we're looking at so far. We'll have another report for you after the 8 o'clock news, but this Morning Blend traffic alert brought to you by RBC. Apply for a loan with RBC at rbc.com/Caribbean/loan and don't pay until February 2023. And at 7:43, time for another check of your weather, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. We've got a frontal trough that will continue to weaken across the area while supporting pockets of shower activity. Meanwhile, another weak cold front is expected to migrate into the extreme northwest Bahamas by tonight. Elsewhere, a low-pressure system centered well to the northeast of the islands will continue to support swells across the area. For all areas today, forecast calls for variable cloudiness and warm conditions with a few scattered showers through tonight. Smallcraft advisory in effect due to swells, and Smallcraft should be alert for gusty winds and higher seas in or near heavy showers with thunderstorms. Temperatures today getting up to around 82 Fahrenheit, 28 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down about 66 Fahrenheit, 19 Celsius. In your extended outlook, that cold front's expected to become stationary across the northwest Bahamas with high pressure building behind it. Meanwhile, persistent long-period north to northeasterly swells will continue to generate hazardous boating and beaching conditions across the area throughout the week. So for tomorrow, Tuesday, partly cloudy, warm and a bit breezy with a chance of a few scattered showers. Wednesday, partly mostly sunny, warm and breezy with a chance of a few passing showers. That's your Morning Blend weather check brought to you by Sherwin-Williams.
For the best mix of today's hits and yesterday's favorites, check in with Brad Hanna and Switching Lanes. Monday to Friday, 1 to 4 p.m. on Star 106 Hits.
Sherwin-Williams Paints wants to make your holiday a splash jollier. November 21st through December 23rd, come deck your walls with color by stopping into either the Tonique Williams Darling Highway or Prince Charles Drive location and take advantage of their Christmas sale of up to 20% off. And when you spend $100 or more, you enter to win prizes like hotel stays, boat excursions, interior designer consultations, and more. So stop on in to win. Sherwin-Williams Bahamas, find color in every day.
It's the most rewarding time of the year. Come down to RBC. Get a loan to buy whatever. RBC makes it better. Get a loan and don't pay till New Year.
Make Christmas what you want it to be with a personal loan from RBC. Apply at rbc.com/Caribbean/loan and don't pay till February 2023. Conditions apply.
Get a loan and don't pay till New Year.
festive season fun and fast with BTC's fiber internet. Sign up and BTC will give you 1 month free or go postpaid and get unlimited Facebook and WhatsApp.
Link up for Christmas, link up with BTC.
Earning zero interest on your savings at the bank? With as little as $100, you can start earning interest on your money while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank with the CFAL Savings Express Plan. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit CFAL.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
Mr. Campbell, we have your test results. Do you want the good news or the bad news first?
Good news. No, wait, bad news. Give it to me straight, doctor.
Your blood work came back. You've got erythrocytes all over.
Oh no, this can't be happening.
Here's the good news. That just means red blood cells. It's a good thing. You're completely fine.
With 99% of medical claims paid in 5 days, we're like a doctor who doesn't want to be a comedian. CG Atlantic, medical and life. Good like that.
Florida Auto Parts can deliver all the auto parts your car will ever need, direct from the USA and from around the world. Florida Auto Parts provides fast delivery on auto parts, and we ship throughout the Bahamas, genuine or aftermarket, new or used, and all for the best price. Call Florida Auto Parts Trusted Parts Rep on WhatsApp at 1-786-772-8777 to save on your next auto parts purchase. Florida Auto Parts, the right parts at the right price.
It's the most rewarding time of the year. To RBC, get a loan to buy whatever. RBC makes it better. Get a loan and don't pay till New Year.
Make Christmas what you want it to be with a personal loan from RBC. Apply at rbc.com/Caribbean/loan and don't pay till February 2023. Conditions apply.
Get a loan and don't pay till New Year. To RBC.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
We are back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Pamela Musgrove on this Monday morning. All right, so we're talking about what's in the news, and we before the break we were talking about how officials here are being so tight-lipped about FTX, but it seems to be across the board with so many things in the country. It's very difficult to get information on what's happening. And that's not for lack of trying. We are trying to get folks on the show, government folks to talk, but there's always something, some excuse. I have to waiting for clearance. I have to wait for permission. Let me get back to you. And it's been weeks. So the latest issue is road traffic. A lot of things are happening there. And we're trying to get some, what is it? What's going on? We know that this was passed earlier in the year, the amendment to the Road Traffic Act to institute licenses for commercial vehicle drivers. And that sounds like a wonderful thing. I think it's a great thing. As I was talking to Pam off air, I don't think you taking your driving test in a little hatchback that qualifies you to be able to handle an 18-wheeler, right? Obviously, that's a special set of skills, and perhaps you should have a different license for that. No issue with that at all. But they aren't talking about it much. The amendment passed. We know there's one company apparently that is doing the training that you have to go to get the training
Is that
for that.
company approved by the government? It was given a contract by the government to
Seems so.
provide the training.
Yeah, they're the only one of all the driving schools to do the commercial license test, course and testing.
So
Course.
everybody, even those who have been driving big vehicles, have to go through the same process. Are they
It
going to
seems so.
grandfather some people in?
Doesn't seem so, no.
But did you think they should have done it? Like if you've been if you have proof that you've been driving this,
I wish
this
some people around
vehicle-
here could take a test over from the type of driving I see around here. So it doesn't look so. It would be good to have someone tell us that. We've reached out to the acting controller, still waiting to hear, to talk about all that. But even now beyond that, I'm sure some of you saw this notice from the Road Traffic Department last week saying that effective January 1st, there were all these changes that were coming. The fees were going up for many, many different things, and there's some confusion on this. But the commercial driver's license, the cost is there. Private plates, some of these things are going up. So driver's license fees for regular private vehicles, I don't know if this is a change. Is this a change? Yes, it does look so, because I think right now for 3 years it's what, $50 for a 3-year driver's license, I think? Or 60, but it's going up to 75. So $15 increase if you want 3 years. But you can get 5 years. Is that a new thing? Yeah, because I wish I could do that. It's going to be 125 years, because they would never see me again.
25.
5 years.
Yeah.
I might have to save up for that one. Replacement for driver's license, $25. I don't know if what that represents as an increase. An international driver's license, $100. That definitely sounds higher than what it was. Huh? How much was that? That was $50. For what? An international driver's license?
A $10 increase.
Oh, $10 increase. That's what you're saying. Okay. How come you can hear him? I can't hear him? Oh, you don't have your headphones on. Like, what's going on with me? Okay. You don't have your... I thought I was having a problem. All right. But this is what got people really confused. So the motor vehicle license class B, on this it said $600. And then motor vehicle license class C says $750. So I think there was a little confusion there. People were freaking out because
So
they
Class
looked at,
B represent what?
Right. Now, I believe Class C is really big vehicles.
Okay, commercial.
But the problem is when you look at your driver's license, and I think this is why, anyway, it says vehicle class on the back, and then C on mine, private motor vehicle.
Okay.
Say, what?
So there's Class A, there's Class B, and there's Class C. So I'm assuming Class A is for like private.
I don't know that. No, because mine is private.
Well, maybe they
And-
just have to make some adjustments.
But what's this 750 for? What
C.
is? Yeah, but mine is C. What? To license my vehicle this year was $90, I believe. Right?
Yeah, that was probably just a
And,
typo. Or they,
right.
But
So
I understand what you're
is it a
saying. They
typo?
should come forward and explain
Not a word
themselves.
has been said yet.
Yeah.
Not a word has been said yet. Now, apparently this was taken down from wherever it was posted, but no statement to say that was a misprint. That was this we're talking about, not that. Nothing at all. And now the opposition is like, what's going on? F&M Deputy Leader Shannon Cartwright last night criticizing the government for increasing fees at the Road Traffic Department. A graphic of the increases made the rounds late last week. It shows that as of January 1st, fees for several categories of services, including licensing cars, driver's licenses, and the cost for driving tests will increase. The changes to the fees were contained in the Road Traffic Amendment Bill 2022, which was passed earlier this year. But not all of those are there. Right? Some of these were there. A lot of that was about commercial. But Cartwright says this represents an additional tax burden on Bahamians. The tax burden has, this is a quote, the tax burden has increased on Bahamian people due to this government's decision and lack of effective economic policies. This tax and spend approach is even more unjust as the Bahamian people contend with horrible pothole-filled roads and no water to flush their toilets and take a bath. Okay, well, where's that? That's Eleuthera? Or is it more places? Anyway, the Bahamian people are not receiving adequate government services that they pay for. They have been inundated with increases on the cost of food, brought on by the government's tax on breadbasket items. Electricity costs is rising due to the government's rejection of a sound fuel hedging strategy and a delayed decision that has cost the Bahamian people millions of dollars in savings. The Bahamian people are being asked to sacrifice everything and carry a heavy tax load, yet the government continues to spend with what seems to be no consideration for the burden on the pockets of the Bahamian people. There is much economic despair in our population, and the government must not rely on prosperity on paper and halt its tax and spend approach. The Bahamian people need relief, not more taxes. Okay. Let's get your reaction to that. What do you make of it? Is it merit in what he's saying there? Are you feeling like that indeed? Can you see where your tax dollars are going, especially on these roads? And why are we not hearing more from road traffic when these things are about to go into effect? January 1st, 3 weeks. 3 weeks from now.
Yeah, I think that's the cry of many persons. You know, you are paying additional taxes, but you cannot see where there's an improvement in the services being offered. And that's the role of government, really to use public service to make people's lives better. And so we are paying our taxes. You say the increase, we pay it. But then on the flip side, we're not getting the benefit.
Right.
The tax dollars is not just to spend however the government sees fit. It is to provide the services for its citizenry that will better our lives.
Yeah.
And a lot of times that just seem to be missing.
Yeah. 422-4796 is your text line, and call in 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. I mean, some of the adjustments aren't horrible.
No, you would say relatively.
Yeah.
Relatively for some person, a $10 increase relatively may not be bad. But then people have different economic situations.
That is true.
And while $10 may not be bad for some, it is really bad for others. There are persons who go to their bank account just to withdraw $10 or $20 to survive.
Absolutely, that is true. All right, so again, this person says a text message says road traffic messaging sucks. They should have stated bold that Class A regular automobile license remains the same. Right, and I think that's what's going on here. So there's different names for different things depending on what you're talking about. And so while the license says it's a Class C private vehicle, the vehicle is a Class A, if I remember correctly. So that doesn't apply to the people freaking out about that one. That doesn't apply to the type of vehicle
that
I
will
drive.
going forward, because the class, you have a driver's license for a particular class of vehicle. Because now they're changing it now for commercial, it's going to have to be clear.
You see, they have two different sets. And this is what I'm saying. They need to talk. Vehicle Class C, private motor vehicle, but the vehicle falls under an A. It just is weird. It's just weird. Caller, I don't think we have the time. We've got to go to the news. We'll pick this up on the other side. We're going to break for news. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Speak to us, road traffic. What's going on? Come on. Anyway, stay with us. Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Float Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us 422-4796. Standard text rates apply. And now at 8:20, time for another check of your weather for today. Brought to you by Bahamas First Insurance. Here is what's happening. We've got a frontal trough that will continue to weaken across the area while supporting pockets of shower activity. Meanwhile, another weak cold front is expected to migrate into the extreme northwest Bahamas by tonight. Elsewhere, a low-pressure system centered well to the northeast of the islands will continue to support swells across the area today. Got a number of warnings, though, special warnings. Small craft operators are advised to remain alert due to high seas offshore, and beachgoers should stay out of the water due to rough surf and the elevated risk of dangerous rip currents. Meanwhile, motorists and pedestrians need to exercise caution while along coastal roads, especially the Glass Window Bridge in Eleuthera. For today, for all areas, variable cloudiness and warm conditions expected with a few scattered showers through tonight. Small craft advisory remains in effect for boaters due to swells, and small craft should also be alert for gusty winds and higher seas in or near heavy showers and thunderstorms. Temperatures today, highs getting to around 82 Fahrenheit, 28 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 69 Fahrenheit, 19 Celsius. In your extended outlook, that cold front is expected to become stationary across the northwest Bahamas with high pressure building behind it. Meanwhile, persistent long-period northeasterly swells will continue to generate hazardous boating and beaching conditions across the area throughout the week. So, for tomorrow, Tuesday, partly cloudy, warm and a bit breezy with a chance of a few scattered showers. Wednesday, partly mostly sunny, warm and breezy with a chance of a few passing showers. That's your morning blend weather check. Brought to you by Bahamas First Insurance, still the first and only local insurance company and agency network that lets you buy car and home insurance 100% online. Try it at bahamasfirst.com. And now, 8:22, time for another check of your traffic for this morning, brought to you by RBC. Make this Christmas whatever you want it to be with an RBC personal loan. In your real-time traffic, we're seeing some heavy traffic on West Bay Street, especially near Saunders Beach and eastbound as you approach the roundabout with New Providence Highway. Traffic's backed up eastbound, and as you get through the roundabout as well, further heading east along to Arawak Key, but especially as you approach the roundabout. Northbound on New Providence Highway as well, seeing some heavy traffic there. Further south on New Providence Highway, heavy traffic as you get closer to the six-legged roundabout. Traffic is backed up along JFK Drive to that roundabout as well. And then even further south, we've got heavy traffic on Milo Butler Highway from the Fire Trail roundabout all the way up to Tonic Williams Darling Highway roundabout. And Tonic Williams Darling Highway westbound to the roundabout, also busy for you at this hour this morning. Glaston Road also seeing heavy traffic from Fire Trail north to JFK Drive. Then we've got Carmichael westbound on the way to Coral Harbor Road, and Carmichael eastbound on the way to Blue Hill Road, also seeing heavy traffic on Blue Hill, especially north of Soldier Road on the way to the roundabout with Independence Drive. And the East Street Soldier Road intersection looking busy for you, especially northbound as you head north toward the roundabout with East-West Highway and Independence Drive. Then we've got Prince Charles Drive pockets, especially near Beatrice Avenue, and especially Soldier Road, and Soldier as it becomes Prince Charles becomes Robinson Road, heavy for you there, and northbound on Soldier and northbound on Marathon Road, and westbound on Eastern Road, seeing some heavy traffic at this hour. That's what we're looking at in your real-time traffic and your morning blend traffic alert, brought to you by RBC. Apply for a loan with RBC at rbc.com/Caribbean/loan, and don't pay until February 2023. And don't forget RBC's Caribbean Acts of Kindness. This Christmas, spread some good together. Share your story of an act of kindness on the RBC Facebook and Instagram pages, and a registered charity of your choice could be selected to receive a donation from RBC. Be inspired. #RBC Give and Get. It feels good to do good.
How important collecting your money can be to the success of your business. Start your relationship with Fidelity today so that we can show you the many options available to you with our merchant services. From click and pay options online to merchant terminals and e-commerce options. We're here to help your business succeed. For more details, speak to one of our business development officers at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit our website at fidelitygroup.com or visit any of our branches.
Power on the holidays this Christmas with Custom Computers. We have everything that everyone wants to see under the tree. Laptops, iPads, AirPods, Apple Watches, Bluetooth speakers, and more. Find gifts for every reason this Christmas season at Custom Computers. Visit us on Patton Street in Palmdale, opposite Liquid Courage, or in Caves Village through the Blake Road entrance. The best Christmas has to offer is right here at your one-stop shop, Custom Computers.
It's the season to sparkle at Colombian Emeralds International, where we have gifts for everyone. Make it an unforgettable holiday this year. Choose from our selection of gift ideas, starting as low as $99. Take advantage of holiday savings today at one of your favorite CEI locations, Bay Street, Atlantis, and Freeport, Port Lucaya. We'll see you there. Happy holidays from CEI.
We're back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Pamela Musgrove. In just a couple minutes, we're going to be talking with BTVI about their tuition grant program. That's coming up in just a couple of minutes. So we just want to get through the rest of your text messages. Before the break, we were talking about road traffic and what's happening there, their lack of communication on what's going on with their prices, the fees that are going up beginning January. I mean, they really aren't talking about it at all. It doesn't make any sense. And there is some confusion based on the flyer that went out. Wait, does this apply to me? Does that not apply to me? And so we're wondering. And again, just seems to be a symptom of everything.
Have you tried to reach out to?
Oh yeah, I can show you my communications with the acting controller and the runaround that everyone's. This is every single department. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening, and you're not hearing anybody talk. It's frustrating. Or if you're going to put out information, if you have to recall it, explain. There was a misprint on that, or this doesn't apply to this. Something. Give the people some information. But others are complaining about the fact that these fees are coming at a time when everything else is going up, and this isn't the right time. So we've got messages about that. Someone says here, in February of 2022, in Grand Bahama, the Prime Minister said no more taxes on the backs of Bahamian people. Not even a year later, BPL, now road traffic, but yet the Prime Minister continues to travel. That's the text. This one says here, how do I know my vehicle class? I believe it's on, you would think it would be on your driver's license, right? But again, that doesn't seem to correspond with some other things. I want to tell you to check your insurance certificate. No? You don't think it would be on that?
That classification would be something at the road traffic.
At road traffic? I really don't. Or maybe look on your... We don't do discs anymore.
The person asks, how do I know my vehicle class? We don't know. So that's basically the answer.
If I remember, I'm trying to Google it. I'm trying to look. If I remember correctly, most people's vehicles, if you drive a regular vehicle, not a giant SUV or something, I think it's an A. I think it is. But why does your license say C? And then I don't know. But road traffic, speak. Tell us. Anyway, this one says here, the new license order means that you can't carry anything kind of how on the streets things on your car,
Carry
what's
on.
happening. You can't put stuff on your roof. The car isn't licensed for that, moving cargo, I guess. No, I don't. No guessing. Let's not guess about that. But I don't think they can do that. I don't think they can tell you that. But anyway, all tax hikes may be small, but coming at a time, or coming all at once is a huge hike, and no discount on 3 or 5 years. Oh, they're saying, yeah, that was true. Back there used to be a discount if you got it for 3 years, you would save some money, but it doesn't seem to be the case anymore.
So 5 years is $125.
Yeah. Yeah, no. You're just paying, I guess, extra to not see them. So right, they can't be losing revenue for that. Wow. Okay. This person says that road traffic fees going up, but road conditions going down.
Yeah, I think that's the challenge, that you're paying taxes and they are increasing taxes, but you can't see it in the services being provided. You can't see improvement in the services being provided. And so the roads like they are, I mean, you dropping in holes and don't let it get a little rain. You can't see it.
Yeah.
You know, you got to go change something on the car, and that's an additional expense that you have to pay. So I think it's really bad.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All right. All right, so here we go. Right on their website there. So, yeah, category A is under 5,000 pounds. B, 5,001 to 15,000. And C, over 150,000. Sorry, over 15,000. So, yeah. So, Class A for most people. Most people.
And what's on your driver's license?
We're looking in the wrong place. This person says, I just checked. Your vehicle class is at the top right corner on the back of your driver's license. But no, it can't be right. It's on the top left, actually. But it says C. But then that doesn't make any sense at all.
You don't have A anywhere there?
No. You take a look. So that can't be right.
Vehicle class C, private motor vehicle.
Yeah. But that's not what it's saying on their website in terms of how they determine how much you're paying to license your vehicle. Yeah. Oh boy. Anyway, so we'll see. We'll see if they come out and respond to all of this confusion. But at this point, all I can say is don't hold your breath. It seems
It's January 1st, effective January 1st.
With nobody talking, just printing things, leaving people hanging. Well. Anyway, let's take a break. When we come back, we're talking about BTVI tuition grant program. We'll get all the details. Stay tuned.
Please game responsibly. Don't take your paycheck every week, cash it, and head to the number house. Don't sit on the computer and spin for hours while life passes you by. Before you know it, you will be down to your last $20. Your family depends on that money. Your family depends on you. Problem gambling destroys lives and families. This message is brought to you by the Gaming Board for the Bahamas, reminding you to gamble responsibly.
Power on the holidays this Christmas with custom computers. We have everything that everyone wants to see under the tree. Laptops, iPads, AirPods, Apple Watches, Bluetooth speakers, and more. Find gifts for every reason this Christmas season at Custom Computers. Visit us on Patton Street in Palmdale, opposite Liquid Courage, or in Caves Village through the Blake Road entrance. The best Christmas has to offer is right here at your one-stop shop, Custom Computers.
Get a merry makeover this Christmas from Scotiabank. Apply for a Scotia Plan loan to win a home renovation. This Christmas, unwrap the celebration. $3,000 for your home, new lamp, new decor, new couch that you
Win
own.
a $3,000 home goods gift card when you apply for a Scotia Plan loan this Christmas. We're giving you the gift of a low interest rate and up to 2 months with no payments. Plan the perfect Christmas with your Scotia Plan loan. Use it for any purpose, plus benefit from flexible payment terms. Apply for a Scotia Plan loan now to enter to win a merry home makeover.
Florida Auto Parts can deliver all the auto parts your car will ever need, direct from the USA and from around the world. Florida Auto Parts provides fast delivery on auto parts, and we ship throughout the Bahamas, genuine or aftermarket, new or used, and all for the best price. Call Florida Auto Parts Trusted Parts Rep on WhatsApp at 1-786-772-8777 to save on your next auto parts purchase. Florida Auto Parts, the right parts at the right price.
Shanae's Chesapeake Road Christmas Wonderland is open under the Big Tent. Get your Christmas trees in pink, frosted, green, or white in a variety of sizes. Musical Christmas LED and laser lights, a large variety of tree ornaments, lighted angels and Santa tree toppers, bright and lively colored Christmas balls in all sizes, garlands, wreaths, tree skirts, stockings, and lots more. Add flowers, picks, and decorative mesh to brighten up your home or office this holiday season. And don't forget the toys at Janae's Chesapeake Road. Check our selections online at www.janae's.com.
I used to think of the bank as my personal ATM machine. If I wanted a new car, new furniture, a weekend trip to Miami, no problem. Just max out the credit card or top up my loan. I was a big baller until I realized that 75% of my salary was going to pay back all those loans. Fidelity's personal financial coaching was the best solution. Fidelity gave me a plan with a debt consolidation loan that has a built-in savings that pays 5% interest. I now only have one low monthly payment plus money in my pocket. Give Fidelity Bank a call at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit any of Fidelity's locations or visit a website at fidelitygroup.com.
Okay, class, let's begin today's history lesson. Ancient civilization used to visit stadiums to watch musicians perform. It was called a live concert.
Teacher, what year was that?
Researchers believe it was around 2019, a long time ago. As things return to normal, remember it is essential to be fully immunized against all vaccine-preventable diseases like COVID-19, rubella, polio, hepatitis, mumps, and influenza. This message is brought to you by PAHO WHO, the Ministry of Health and Wellness, the Caribbean Development Bank, the Government of Canada, and the United States of America.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells swing and jingle bell ring. Snowing and blowing up bushels of fun. Now the jingle hop has begun. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells chime in jingle bell time. Dancing and prancing in Jingle Bell Square. In the frosty air, what a bright time. It's the right time to rock the night away. Jingle bell time is a swell time to go riding in a one-horse sleigh. Giddy up, jingle horse, pick up your feet.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Pamela Musgrove. And this morning we are talking about BTVI and the Tuition Grant Program. Here to tell us all about this, we're very pleased to welcome the BTVI Student Account Receivable Manager, Tamanji Wilson. Great to have you with us. Good morning.
Good morning, Bahamas. Good morning, 242. Happy to be here with you guys this morning.
You are very bubbly, and we're very happy that you are with us today. That's wonderful. All right, so we were talking a lot off here. A lot of that needs to be said on air. Yes. But let's talk about it. So what is your role? And then we'll get into what's available to potential students out there.
Okay, well, my role is I cover the cashiers as well as the bookstore and our tuition grant. Mm-hmm. Financial aid, helping students go back to school. So that's what we're going to be focusing on today, letting persons in the Bahamas know, Bahamians know, that there is help and there is hope. Yeah. And I'm here to help you to get to your hope.
All right. So now we've heard a lot. We know the government's offering a lot of assistance.
Yes.
Does anybody pay any more to go to BTVI?
Yes, you do pay now. Mm-hmm. If you come on to the tuition grant, And if you don't not meet the requirements, then you owe me money.
Okay.
That's why I call myself the money woman.
Okay.
But before we get to that point, we try to educate our students, letting them know that, hey, you need to put some skin in the game as well. It's not just, I'm going to give this to you and you're not going to put any effort toward you trying to pass your classes. You know, you're not trying to meet your attendance. You're not trying to meet the cost attendance requirements. So the whole thing is, we educate you.
Yeah.
You must be a Bahamian. You must pass your classes. If you fail, if you withdraw from your classes, at the end of the term, we're going to have a conversation.
Oh, boy.
So what are the criteria for government support?
Well, the criteria for government support, you must be a Bahamian. The first thing is you have to be accepted
need
into
a passport.
BTVI. Yes. You need your passport. You need to have all your medical. We have a great admissions team that guide you through that. So once you've met those requirements, that's when you come over to me. So a lot of our Bahamians don't know that we have this opportunity. So we're trying everything right now to promote. To promote going to the radio stations, also emailing our students, putting flyers out there, hitting all of our social media platforms, just to bring awareness to what we have going on. It may be too late for the spring. However, we do have summer and fall coming up.
Okay. So once you get accepted, you just must be a Bahamian in order to get accepted. And
Yes,
once you're
into this
accepted-
particular program.
Right. What are the criteria to maintain government support?
You need to maintain a 2.0 scheduled for the correct amount of courses. If you're in Nassau, it's 3 courses, 9 credits. If you're on the Family Islands, it's 2 courses, 6 credits. So we're not asking a
that's
lot.
not a lot.
Maintain your 2.0. Communicate. If you cannot be scheduled for the allotted amount of courses, listen, my door is always open. I try to work with you to ensure that you stay on top of it.
So of the persons that have applied, how many persons have maintained government support because they've maintained the 2.0? And then do you know how many persons have dropped out because they were not able to?
I will know that by the end of this term.
Okay.
So we have a lot of students testing out. We had them, I should say, testing out last week. So we'll know exactly, where they are. Sometimes if a student is not able to attend, they would come and speak with me directly. Ms. Wilson, I'm not going to be able to attend this term, but next term I'll be back.
Yeah. All right. So with this program, I mean, is there anything that people have to contribute? If you meet all those requirements, is there like a fee that you need to, anything at all? Or is it a full ride with the tuition?
Well, application fee is $25.
So you do have to put that in.
You have to pay the application fee. And at the end of it, when you're done with all of your requirements, your credit requirements, it's $200 for the graduation. Now, with the Cosmo classes, there are some fees associated with, you have to purchase your supplies and your tools and all that good stuff.
Yeah. What about the other classes? Everything's provided, or
Yes, your associate's degrees. We cover your books. We cover your test out codes. So all of that is a part of the government tuition grant. So
amazing.
for us not to be able to take advantage of that,
that's why I was interested to see the success rate, because do you have numbers prior to this term, like in past, what the success rate is? Because sometimes when we think we're giving people things free, they take it for granted and they don't utilize it.
Well, I can tell you, I looked over, I would say this year. When I say this year, meaning 22 spring, because I started in January. So 22 spring, we had 1,100 students that actually was able to take advantage of the grant.
That's pretty good.
Now, for the fall, we had 1,900 students that enrolled. Out of the 1,900, I had 1,500 students that were awarded the grant.
Okay.
So at the end of this term, I'm going to be able to go back at those numbers to see if we were able to increase how many students we're going to put on for the spring. Because with the tuition grant, we're looking at new students as well as returning students.
Amazing.
So that should be able to tell me if I had a 1% increase, 2% increase.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So tell us about some of the programs that are covered here. Is it anything you want to do at BTVI that could be covered, or is it
When you say
specific
anything,
things?
what do you mean?
I mean, all right. You mentioned cosmetology, so definitely.
We have cosmetology. We have the associate degree programs. We have in human resource management. We have tourism. We also have automotive.
Okay.
We have, like you said, cosmetology, nail technician. So it's like a little bit of everything. So if you want to go and pursue your associate's degree, We have our business courses, office management, certification, and you can transition into an associate's degree in office management. So you speak with one of our admissions representatives, and trust me, because every day I learn something new.
Okay, so that's interesting. So you
Go
mentioned degree programs.
Yes.
But what about the certificate programs? Are they covered as well? If I just
Yes,
wanted to
our
come?
certificates, our diplomas are covered, and our
Okay.
associate degree programs
So
are covered.
it is pretty much everything.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So there's no excuses.
No excuses. So if you have an excuse, I get upset with you. I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And for most of our youngsters that's coming out, because we start out at 16 years old, for our 16-year-olds that's coming out, when their parents come to speak with me on their behalf, I'm like, I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to my 16-year-old because I want to set you up for success. One of the great things about BTVI is it does not end. It doesn't have to end there. We have articulation agreements with schools across the United States as well as Canada. So it's a great starting point. If you want to stay here and build your business and trade, awesome.
Yeah.
If you want to go into the hotel industry, great. We have a lot of construction going on across the Family Islands. Why not go and be a contractor?
So has government gave any restrictions on continuing the grant? Do you have to do anything? Do they want to see anything in order for them to maintain this grant level? Or is there any dollar amount restriction, or they would just provide it for all persons that meet the requirement at the
Yes.
time of
There are no restrictions. Complete your program. Complete your program. That's it. If you want to take up something else, if you decide that you want to do your associates, if you decide that you just want to stay with a certification, it's all up to you. Just meet the requirements that we ask you to meet. We also have our private funding area. Ms. Tucker and Ms. Thompson, those funding are for students that are not Bahamians, but are here legally in the
Wow.
country.
Okay.
So we have assistance for those individuals as well.
So, Tamanji Wilson, tell me something.
Go ahead.
Me here, Dwight, radio station guy, I want to take a plumbing course. I want to learn a little bit about plumbing. Can I get?
Yes, you can.
Right.
Yes, you can,
What?
and it's covered.
That's it? Covered? I don't have to pay
It's
for it?
covered. If you do not have your media degree, we also cover media and associates.
Wow.
Hey.
Wow.
Wow.
There's
no
help.
age restriction.
16. 16
Just
to
on the-
150.
wow. Okay.
However long God gives you on this earth and your mind is still going, you want to continue to improve your skills.
Are
We
you in
have
the
it.
schools? Are you in the schools talking to them about the program?
Yes,
so that when
we
they're done, they
are.
Can,
Yes, we are. And one of the great things, a lot of our students were not able to successfully complete high school.
Right.
So we also have our Smart Start
Yeah.
program for those individuals that, hey, I can't do this online thing. This is too much. So we decided, hey, we're partnering with the government. We're going to do Smart Start to help those students between 2020 to 2022 to be able to graduate with a certificate.
It's amazing. And that first cohort should be winding down now.
Yes,
right?
we'll be winding now. I think we have about 128 students that have successfully completed thus
Yeah.
far.
And you got another one starting soon in
Yes,
the new year.
in the new year.
Okay. This is great stuff. Okay, what else do people need to know if they want to take advantage of all of this exciting stuff going on at BTVI?
Now, for our new and returning students, the grant open up. We have deadlines. Our application begun on the 30th of November. The deadline to apply is January 11th. January 11th. That's very crucial. So we're going to give you enough time to hang out with your family, eat your turkey and your ham over the holidays. But January 11th, if I don't hear from you, I'm
returning
calling.
students.
Yes, returning and new students.
Okay, so it isn't automatic? You have to apply every time?
You have to. It's very simple though.
okay.
It's very, very simple. All you're doing is just giving us your name, the program that you're in. Everything is already automated. So with our returning students, accept it, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's all they do. Hit accept
Are you
it.
also accepting new students in January?
We have closed the deadline for January. However, they can apply for the grant.
Okay.
Yes.
So
As
have
long
it
as they meet
ready,
those
and as soon
requirements.
as, just when things open up again, just get in.
Just get in.
But, get
So
the
while
grant.
you're home and you're chilling out in front of your
Right.
laptop and your tablet or your cell phone, just go in and apply. It's not difficult at all.
Yeah.
You don't have to write an essay. Just meet those requirements. Be accepted into BTVI. You must be a Bahamian. You must be scheduled for the allocated classes that we're asking you to. Maintain that 2.0. If you drop below a 2.0, we put you on financial aid probation, of course, and you have to make up your grounds to ensure that you meet the requirements.
I'm curious. I mean, what are some of the excuses you hear or have heard?
Working, persons on the family island, they would tell you the internet connection was poor, but there was a way for you to be able to still reach out, still find a way, still show me that this is something that you really want.
Yeah.
We, and I'm telling you, my door is open. I may be a little rough with you sometimes, but that roughness is from a motherly standpoint. That's from a standpoint of me going off to college at the age of 22. I didn't have help. I came from Abaco, not a dollar in my pocket, didn't know anything like this existed. So when I was afforded this opportunity to be able to assist persons, I'm like, listen, I'm going to tell everybody about it. Because especially the first 2 years to 18 months of starting your associate's degree or just trying to figure out as a young person what you want to do, money and time is so crucial.
Yeah. Wow. All right, we got some text messages coming in. This person says here, am I able to do plumbing in the evening or part-time? And I guess still qualify for a grant.
Yes, you can. The thing that I would tell you to do, we have an admissions team that's awesome. Our academic affairs team is great. So when you explain your situation, the only thing you have to do is communicate. Let us know what's going on with you. We want to see you successful. So if you are on, like I said, if you are in Nassau, it's 3 courses, 9 credits. If you can, because you're working, I understand that. We work with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have to communicate. Don't just sit there, drop out, or say, you know what, I don't have anyone to talk to.
Right. Okay, so you said that if you're in Nassau, and then you talk about the Family Islands, but listen to this one. Ask your guest if this applies to Bahamians living abroad as well.
Are they going to go online? See, that's something that we need to have a conversation about.
Right?
Yeah.
So depending on the courses, I guess.
Yes, it's
depending on the courses, you might be able to do this.
If it's available online, that's a great conversation to have with the admissions team.
But some of those hands-on courses,
yes,
they won't be.
That requires you, because
right.
even with the students on the Family Islands, if they're doing the technical part of it, they would have to come into Nassau to complete that. Yes.
Yeah, so it'd be tricky. Like, we're abroad.
Yes,
where
are you exactly?
What's that all about? That's interesting.
What is your success rate with job placement?
We have persons, hotels, Bahama, Atlantis, they seek out our students. Okay. They do. They seek out our students. And the great thing about it is we have a lot of alumni that reach back. They reach back. Like our back homes, they reach back.
Yeah, a big thing over the weekend, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
They reach back. And you have Glennis Martin, our Minister of Education. She comes in and talks to our president to see what's going on. What can we do to assist? What else can we do to partner with BTVI to get the word out there and to assist our Bahamian students? And they're always involved in some type of event that we're having.
So in your programs, I guess we could find out the programs that you have on your website, but do you have like medical assistant programs, like persons who work in
I know that's
division?
in the works, but not at this time. Not healthcare, not at this time.
So from what you're seeing, what is in high demand right now? What are the fields that people are coming to BTVI and saying, hey, we need more of these, we need more of those? What are they saying?
What I'm seeing a lot of is cosmetology.
Yeah?
Cosmetology,
seems like we have a lot already,
yes, and construction.
Okay, construction.
You know what I'm thinking? That students are also looking at the way that you can make money every day. You learn a trade and earn. So if you're a nail technician, if you do hair, you're making money every single day.
Yeah, don't limit yourself.
Don't limit yourself. You need a plumber practically every day.
Yeah.
So you're on call every day. I have our plumber. He comes to our house on Sundays.
Oh, yeah.
Who does that?
Right. Yeah.
Not your HR person. So don't
definitely
limit
not.
yourself.
So are businesses or persons in the community coming to you and saying that they want you to offer certain classes, or these are just classes that persons
Yes,
are
they
interested in?
they give us recommendations as to what we should offer.
Okay.
They do. And that's one thing that we always take into consideration, what the community needs.
Okay, now this is I don't know if you can answer this. This is a very specific question. All right, so maybe you can give them some advice to them. They said I did a course. I'm not sure what this is. NCCER?
Okay, yes.
Yeah, you know what that is?
Yes.
What is that?
That's in construction.
Okay. They did a course over a year and a half ago. Still haven't gotten my certificates along with my classmates yet. Who can we talk to about this?
So why haven't we come up to the school? Are they here in Nassau?
So they need to talk to.
Yes.
Come
They
to the
can
school.
call admissions 502
They say they have.
6300.
Give that number again.
502 6300. My extension is 6338. I will get you over to the construction area and we can see if we can get your issues resolved.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Help is here.
Yeah. Okay.
No excuses.
Right.
Yes.
Excellent.
We're open until 4:30 every day. My email address is wilsont@btvi.edu.bs. wilsont@btvi.edu.bs. So if you are looking for your certificate and everything is already cleared up, I will forward. I will assist you as best as I can.
All right. Excellent. All right. So we've been hearing this kind of talk for a long time, especially if you're not academically inclined. Get a trade. Are people really practicing what they preach? You're seeing that? Are you seeing a shift here, or what are we looking at?
We are. We also have work study program. We see our young guys out there. They're laying the cement and they're doing construction on site. So you're getting that hands-on experience. It's not just your theory now. We're doing your practical and your theory. Great combination.
Excellent.
So how important, because you mentioned one of the main criteria is you must be Bahamian. How important is math and English to being successful in some of the programs, particularly construction?
Very. You need to be able to take measurements. You have to.
Yep. Can't run away from that.
You can't.
No.
And math is one of my not so strong suits, but we have help. We have tutors. We have assistants. And there's a saying, if your mouth is closed, you don't get fed. So if your mouth is closed and you need help, how will I know that you need help if you're not reaching out?
Yeah.
You're not reaching out. The government is partnering with an educational institution. We are trying to help you to better yourself. Things have changed drastically, as we have seen over the last 3 years. You need to get a skill under your belt. You need to get a skill. You need to be able to go out there and do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
When I came back from the States, I have a master's degree. I ended up cooking, cleaning. Now I'm back in my field of helping persons to go back to school.
Wow. Yeah.
You don't know what you're going to land on or what you're going to fall on. Hard times are there, but you can still make money.
Yeah. But I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you brought that up, Pam, because people think that you can avoid the math and the English, but you can't. You need that
cannot.
for everything that we do.
Everything.
Every single field.
Yes.
Yeah. You want to do? Let's take some calls. 323-6232, 325-4316. 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us 422-4796. We're talking with Tamanji Wilson with BTVI, talking about the tuition grant program. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Pam. And good morning, Miss Wilson.
Good morning.
Hi.
Very interesting conversation. I got a very intriguing question for you. Perhaps you can answer this. I'm looking at someone such as myself in the late 50s, early 60s. Have experience in the electrical field, have assisted as like a helper to wire many places, got the hands-on experience to a certain point. For a person such as myself, what would be the criteria to sign up for a course at BTVI without having to go perhaps from the beginning stages, like the basics? Is there a program to advance that, or is it a must that you have to go through the basics in order to accelerate the program? That's just something that perhaps a few other persons out there who would have the hands-on but want the certificate or needs the degree or whatever. Where do we go from there? Thanks for taking my call, Dwight.
Okay. All right. Thanks a lot.
Okay, well, you don't have to do an associate's degree. You can do a certification course, which is less than a year. We also have our professional development program certifications which are not covered under the grant, but they're very short courses, anywhere from 6 to 12 weeks. So, and that's something that you would have to pay out of pocket, unfortunately, but it's still a way for you to enhance your skills.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep. All right. And again, how can we get information about all of that? What's the best way to do it?
Okay, we're going to recommend that you call into the admissions department, which is 502-6300. Now, we always have something going on at BTVI in terms of helping you to get some type of certification or to earn your degree. So I would tell you, give us a call at any time, because you don't know. We may have a certificate course starting in January that I'm not privy to.
Right.
That may not be covered under the grant, but it's there and it's available.
Yeah.
Yes.
So all we've heard all morning from you, just tons of opportunities are there. There are no excuses.
No
No
excuses.
excuses, folks. If you're sitting down, sitting around, hearing this, and you have nothing to do, this is a great opportunity.
We just signed an MOU with Maritime. So if you want to get your captain's license, hey, we have a lot of youngsters, especially on the Family Islands, that love the water.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not take advantage with this opportunity? You can't beat it.
Do you know if this is a limited time? Was there, or this is just the way it is?
This is just the way it
Yeah,
is.
okay.
This is just the way it is. And our president is always going out there and trying to find creative ways to attract more young people. While you're young, yes, creating partnerships. While you're young, take advantage.
Yeah. Great information. Tamaji Wilson, thank you so much for being here this morning.
You are so welcome, and thank you so much for having me.
It is our pleasure, and we hope people take advantage of this. This is another great, we heard a few months ago about the Smart Start program, and glad to hear that it's going well, and this as well. There are no excuses.
No excuses, please. If you are a returning student, if you are a new student to BTVI, do not miss the deadline to apply for the tuition grant, January 11th. We're giving you enough time.
So if someone wanted to start in the fall of 2023, they must apply by January 11th as well?
No, the application is open for students wanting to apply. There is a deadline. I am not sure what the deadline is for application into BTVI, but the deadline for the grant is the 9th of September.
Okay.
Yes. So you have June 30th until the 9th of September to get
Excellent.
your documents in to us.
All right.
We'll be able
Making
to
it
assist
easy
you.
for everybody.
Yes.
You really
Knowledge
are.
is power.
Yeah. Tamaji Wilson, thank you again. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Enjoy your holidays.
You guys too.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
We're going to take a break and be back with Morning Blend Business. Someone's going to be very, very happy today. They're going to get an extra bit of something from CFAL. So stay tuned for that. Is it going to be you? You'll find out. Stay with us.
Listen, all you people all around.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
The views and opinions of the host and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
morning, and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Monday, December 12th, 2022. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Pamela Musgrove on this Monday morning. And this morning, somebody's going to be very happy after their name is called. We're going to stretch it out, though, toward the end of the show. With the CFAL Holiday Saving Plan. And the drawing is today. And here to tell us all about the plan and then the drawing later, we're very pleased to welcome back to the show from CFAL, Claudia Thompson. Good morning, Claudia.
Good morning, Dwight, and good morning, Pam. How are you?
We're doing well. We're doing well. It is always a pleasure to talk with you. And you've been on with us for a few years now, talking about this wonderful plan. But for those who aren't familiar, what is the Holiday Savings Plan all about?
So it was set up by a group of us to really encourage clients to save for Christmas to avoid those loans and that sort of thing. Is there an echo, guys? I'm trying to find out if there's something I need to do on my end.
It's fine for us, but I can imagine what's happening. It will eventually dissipate, it seems, but we're not hearing it from you. But I can imagine what you're doing. That is often what's happening on Zoom these days. But hopefully we'll clear up in a bit. But you sound okay with us. Okay, so set up. How long has it been now?
So it's been 5 years that we've been doing this plan, and we have some of our clients that have stayed with us from the beginning. And the plan just keeps on growing every year. So I want to say a special good morning to all of the CFAL Holiday Savings clients who have been with us from the beginning, and especially to the 550 clients who signed up for 2022.
Oh,
We do appreciate you. We appreciate you. And we are so, so happy that you made it through to the end. I know that it was tough. This year has been tough with inflation, but a lot of you did. I have 311 names of the participants who made it through to the end with the full $1,200.
That is amazing.
So how many persons started when the program first started, Claudia?
It started with 100 people.
And as you said, it's been growing every single year, right?
It has grown exponentially every year, almost by like 40-50% each year. So we don't know what's going to happen in 2023, but we encourage everyone to make sure that they save for Christmas. And I know the ones that did are very happy because they are ready for Christmas as of Friday and as of today.
Yeah. So this is amazing because, as you mentioned, this has been a rough year. And if you think back to where we were a year ago and just so much uncertainty about what this year was going to be like, and for people to make this commitment, it's really says a lot about them and you all. So that is fantastic. Congratulations to everybody who made it through. All right, so tell us about the intricate details. How much are people required to put in? How does that work? And what they are required to do.
So the idea is to save 100 or 125 each month. It runs from January to November each year. So the idea is to end with $1,200. So some months are 100 and some months are 125 to make up for that extra month. And at the end of November, payments stop, and then we pay out everybody in December so that they have their funds in time for Christmas. So my clients who do weekly, which is $25 per week, or they choose to do it monthly. This coming year, we're going to encourage monthly so that it's the 100 once a month and or the 125 once per month.
Right. And is there interest as well?
We do give interest of between 2.5% and 3% for the whole year. So you will see your statement. You have online access to your statement. You can log in and just monitor everything is being posted correctly and that we're posting interest on a monthly basis. And the idea is that you end with between 2.5% and 3% in interest by the end of the 11-month period.
That's
so
amazing.
What we do is we take the funds and we invest it in one of our mutual funds for you, and it's in there earning interest for you throughout the year.
Fantastic. The banks can't touch that, right? And your ace and your ace. So look at that. That's excellent. Wow.
Yes, that's the idea.
If folks want to put in more, is that allowed?
Oh, this is the question. This is always the question, right? So yes, we have had clients who do up to what we call 3 accounts. where they can put up to, instead of the $100 per month, they do $300. So that's really the max, because after that, we have other products that are better suited for clients who want to save more than that. And this product is really designed for clients who just want to save specifically for Christmas. And it's just a 1 year in and out. So the maximum we've done is 3 accounts. So that would be like 300 or 375 per month.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Wow. And for next year, for 2023, if you want to be a part of this, when do you need to sign up for it?
So we are going to have our sign-up period the first 3 weeks of January, January 3rd through the 20th, 2023. And we're going to do something a little different this year. We're going to have the application online on our website. So you'll go to cfal.com and there'll be a link there, and you go in and you enter all of your information, you upload your documents, and you hit send, and you're automatically enrolled.
Okay. Wow. All right. So we're going to stretch this out, like we said, just to keep the suspense going there. So we want to talk to you about just saving in general, especially as you mentioned, inflation and rising costs everywhere. It just seems like it's so difficult to save these days. But what are some tips that you give to folks on how to save in a painless way? Is that possible, first of all?
I don't know about painless, but there's different ways to do it where it feels less painful, where if you do it as an automatic deduction, say from your salary or a standing order from your account each month, it is easier that way because you don't have to look at your balance and then do the physical transfer each time. It's done for you. So you really don't have to say, okay, am I going to go to the store and buy XYZ, or am I going to say it's automatically done for you? So that's the main thing we always encourage clients to do. If you can make your savings automatic, please do so.
Yeah. Wow. And then the types of ways to save. Let's talk about some of those. I mean, we know, I joked about it, bank savings accounts, I mean, barely getting any interest, if any at all. But some of the other options that are available.
So at CFAL, we have, of course, the holiday savings program. But if you wanted something a little longer term, we have the CFAL Savings Express, which you start with $100 and you can put in as little as $25 or more per month. You can do more if you want to, of course. And that is locked in for 2 years to get you in the habit of saving. So if you're a person who really is not self-controlled and wants to keep their funds, out of their sight, out of mind, that program is the one for you because we do lock you in for 2 years. And then after that, you're limited to 2 withdrawals per year. And then, of course, we have our mutual funds, where you can begin with $1,000 or more, where we saw a lot of clients who weren't earning interest in the banks anymore, or who were getting their lump sum payouts from their pension plans come to us and say, we want to do something, but we don't want to take too much risk. And we offered them our CFAL Bond Fund, which is a mutual fund invested in local government bonds, local corporate bonds, and you're earning interest of about 4.25% per year. And that has been very, very popular because everybody is trying to make sure that they're earning something to beat inflation on their funds at this time.
Wow, right. And if you don't mind a little bit of risk, what are the options available?
So a little bit of risk, we have mutual funds like the Balance Fund, which are a mix of local stocks and local bonds. So you're going to have some exposure to stocks, which go up and down according to the market. And for those persons, they can earn a range. It just means there's a wider range of things that could happen. So the returns can go down to 1%. They can go up to 8%, just depending on the year. So you have to have a little bit more of a strong stomach to do that one.
And percentage-wise of your clients, how many are of these strong stomach variety?
I would say maybe if 10 people go into the bond fund, maybe 2 people go into the balance fund. I would say most Bahamians are very risk averse.
Wow.
They prefer the slow and steady wins the race. I want to see my money at the end of the day. I don't want to see a negative ever. And so the bond fund has been much more popular than the balance fund, but we do have those out there who like to take risks. And there are a few of those, and they do go into the balance fund, and they like it. They have a strong stomach and strong appetite for risk, so they're okay.
Yeah. All right, so with the holiday savings plan, you mentioned a few people didn't make it to the end. What happened there? What did they tell you? And is there a way that if you ran into some problems in the middle of the year that you could make up after a couple of months? Was that a possibility at all? It's a couple questions there, but anyways, let's talk about that.
Yes, so what we did a mid-year review in July, and we looked at who was being consistent and who wasn't. And we sent out an email blast to all of our clients saying, hey, please log into your account, make sure that everything is posted. If something has happened, please let us know, and please get back on track. You can still make up for those months that you missed. And we got a great response, and a lot of clients did bring their accounts up to date. We sent out another notice in August, September, asking everybody to update their banking details because we do pay out via bank transfer, not by check anymore. So that was another update. And everybody was logging in, checking their account, and coming back to us. So yes, we did definitely, communicate with everybody. And there was a way. You can make a lump sum payment if you missed, say, March and April. You can make it up in June. We did not penalize anybody. But we do find that people who are more consistent, say they set a reminder in their phone to make that payment, say on the 20th of every month, they were the ones who were more consistent and made sure that their funds were in a timely manner.
And I think the beauty of the program as well, Dwight, is for those persons, for whatever reason, were not able to complete the program, they get their monies back, plus the interest earned for the monies they have invested. So that's the beauty of the program. It's not stressful saying, you stick, you didn't continue, so, you're penalized. No, you would get all of the funds that you have invested in the program, plus the interest that has been accrued for the duration of your monies being in the plan.
Wow. So easy breezy.
Yeah.
Just really nice. Okay. So this bonus that you're offering today, tell us about that, Claudia. What is that all about?
So the idea really is to encourage those, like Pam said, there's no penalizing the client if they don't make it to the $1,200. It's just you get your interest back plus your funds. We're not going to take your money or anything like that. But we wanted to
don't even charge a
encourage.
commission. No charges.
Right. No charges, nothing like that.
Nice.
But we wanted to encourage those who did make it to the $1,200 and give them an added incentive and say, okay, you'll be entered to win this $1,000 for being so consistent and really sacrificing throughout the year and completing the plan how it was meant to be completed.
How much did you say it was? How much?
It's $1,000.
A whole other $1,000.
Yes.
Oh
you
my.
get a whole- yes. So we've had clients who are like, "Oh, I'm going to win this year, Ms. Thompson. I'm going to win."
Oh boy. Okay. So what? And that's everybody. If you missed a month and you caught up, are you still eligible to win it?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. As long as you made it to the end.
Yes. Once you had over the 1,200 and you proved to us that you paid everything, you are on this list.
Okay. And so how are we going to draw the name of the winner today? How are we doing it?
So I have a list of 311 names, and I want to ask you, Dwight, to pick a number between 1 and 311 for me. So that this is completely, objective, no bias. I know all of these names, and I wanted to be above board. I have my list here, so whatever number you pick, I am going to name, and that is our winner.
Boy. All right. So Dwight Strachan is going to make someone's Christmas
Do you need
amazing.
some coffee, Dwight?
We're going to stretch this out. We're going to take a break, and we're going to come back, and then Claudia is going to, with my assistance, help to pick this name and bring some extra joy to somebody this morning. All right, so Claudia Thompson, hold on for us. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, it's going to be a very Merry Christmas indeed for somebody with the CFAL Holiday Savings Plan. This is Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Have a cup of cheer. Have a holly jolly Christmas. And when you walk down the street, say hello to friends you know and everyone you meet. Ho, the mistletoe hung where you can see. Somebody waits for you, 'cause there wants for me. Have a holly.
how important collecting your money can be to the success of your business. Start your relationship with Fidelity today so that we can show you the many options available to you with our merchant services. From click and pay options online to merchant terminals and e-commerce options. We're here to help your business succeed. For more details, speak to one of our business development officers at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit our website at fidelitygroup.com or visit any of our branches.
A local paper in Grand Bahama is back every Tuesday as a section of the Nassau Guardian. Available at local stores, gas stations, pharmacies, Western Bakery, and Bellevue Gifts. Daily and, of course, on Tuesdays, too. Want to reach your Grand Bahama audience? Then call Barefoot Marketing at 827-4578 or message them for ad rates via their Facebook page. Advertising opportunities now include classified ads, too. Keep up with all the latest Grand Bahama news in the Guardian newspaper every Tuesday.
Ready to save? You can put $100 into the CFAL Savings Express Plan and make sure your money keeps growing. Earn interest on your savings while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit CFAL.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
It's the best time of the year. I don't know if
It is time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. And Bahamas Power Light, BPL, is hoping to carry another hedge that will take the quantity of the company's hedged fuel to around 71%. That's according to the company's CEO, Siobhan Cambridge on Friday, making the remarks while addressing the Bahamas Hotel and Tourism Association's annual general meeting. He explained that 54% of BPL's fuel is currently hedged. He explained that the power company did not increase its volumes earlier in the year, given that oil prices remained elevated. However, Cambridge says that prices are beginning to abate as costs were $123 per barrel of oil and are likely to level out around $72 per barrel. He was seeking to dispel the notion that hedging is about making money. He says they hedge to provide price stability, and that price stability assists BPL with budgeting and hopefully can assist customers as well. Both of the Bahamas' mega resorts, Atlantis and Bahamar, are forecasting occupancies for 2023 that would surpass 2019 levels. It was revealed on Friday at that Hotel and Tourism Association annual general meeting. Senior Vice President of Bahamar, Robert Sandy-San, saying during the meeting that the hotel's booking pace for 2023 compared to the booking pace of 2022 is already ahead by 40%. San says that the hotel's group bookings for next year are also ahead by 33%, explaining that these numbers are coming at the tail end of a record year for the resort. He says that Bahamar has been a record-breaking year in terms of occupancy for the resort as well. You can read all about this in today's Guardian business section. And as an extremely high-priced destination, the Bahamas will have to work hard to improve its market share as pent-up demand falls away. A U.S. recession is threatening, and as people, especially Americans, look once again at long-haul travel, Sands again at the BHTA annual general meeting, saying that competitors are very mindful of their need to re-engage their source markets and dedicated customers to reinvigorate their tourism products. He said, though, that the Bahamas has many hurdles to vault in the game of tourism competition in the region, with the cost of doing business in the destination atop its list of obstacles. And beginning next spring, JetBlue Airlines will add daily nonstop flights from New York's LaGuardia Airport to LPIA. The new flight is part of the Northeast Alliance, a partnership between JetBlue and American Airlines formed in 2020. This is being done to take advantage of each other's networks and services. The Bahamas, along with 10 other destinations, benefiting from the expansion of the alliance. JetBlue says the Northeast Alliance is bringing more of JetBlue's low fares and great service to more customers. And as they continue to enhance the alliance and link more destinations with new nonstop choices, customers finally will have a compelling alternative to the carriers that have dominated the market for so long. Overseas, Britain's economy shrank in the 3 months through October, confirming the toll that rampant inflation and rising interest rates are having on business and industry. GDP, gross domestic product, the broadest measure of economic activity, fell by 0.3% in the period when compared with the 3 months through July. That's according to the British Office for National Statistics. The decline came even as estimates show GDP increased by 0.5% in October after a 0.6% drop in September, when economic activity was artificially reduced by an extra public holiday to mark the death of Queen Elizabeth II. Despite the rebound in October, there's still a good chance the British economy will shrink for a second consecutive quarter in the last 3 months of this year, according to a chief economic advisor. 2 consecutive quarters of declining output is one definition of a recession. Britain doesn't have an independent body that declares recessions like in the US and Europe, which use other data like rising unemployment and job losses in their assessments. And in your Market Watch, recapping trading on the BISX from Friday. The local market ended the week with 94,928 shares crossing the exchange with 17 trades, accumulating a value of $477,714. The BISX All-Share Index lost 0.97 points, or 0.04%, to end the week at 2,626.51. Year-to-date, the index is up 398.27 points, or 17.87%. The week's volume leader was Commonwealth Bank, moving 37,000 shares in 4 trades with a value of $129,425. The value leader, Kalina Holdings Limited, moving 29,803 shares in 5 trades with a value of $254,119. That's your Market Watch, and that is your morning business report brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. And tune in tonight to CFAL Talks right here on Guardian Radio at 6:30 p.m.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Have a holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time of the year. I don't know if there'll be snow, but have a cup of cheer. Have a holly jolly Christmas. And when you walk down the street, say hello to friends you know and everyone you meet. Oh, oh, the mistletoe hung where you can see. Somebody waits for you. Kiss her once for me. Have a holly jolly Christmas.
We are back here with Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Pamela Musgrove. And yes, somebody's going to have a holly jolly Christmas as a result of the CFAL Holiday Savings Plan. In addition to the money they saved and the interest they got all year, there's going to be a special prize. Claudia Thompson is our guest this morning, and we're going to pick a name for someone to win an extra $1,000, Claudia.
Yes, Definitely, Dwight. We are very excited, and we have a long list of names, 311 to be exact. So I am going to ask you to pick a number between 1 and 311. And I am going to see whose name is next to the number you choose, and that person is going to be our winner.
Oh my, so much pressure, so much pressure. All right. Oh boy, how am I going to pick this? So these names, this is not in alphabetical order, is it? No? Or you shouldn't tell me that. Hey, don't tell me that. No, don't tell me.
No, I shuffled them. It's
Okay,
random.
okay,
It's
good.
random.
All right, great. Between 1 and
Just
311.
one number, Dwight. One number.
I feel like I'm playing numbers here, gambling. Okay.
No pressure, no pressure.
No pressure. Let me see. Let me think. My birthday? Should it be somebody else's? Now, what if? How are you going to do this? Because every year I say I'm going to do the plan, but I may actually do it this year. What are you going to do next year? You're not going to include me in this anymore, or how will it work? Will that be a conflict?
I would have to get someone else to choose a number or a name, Dwight. In
Yeah.
That case,
Oh
but-
boy. Oh my. So this might be my last time doing it. Okay. Let's go with. You play the Jeopardy music. Jeopardy music. Let's go with 300. 300.
300.
Who is that?
That is Morgan Wells.
Morgan Wells. Wow, congratulations,
Congratulations,
Morgan
Morgan.
Wells. You've won an extra $1,000. Merry Christmas. Glad that we could help you to enjoy that. Wow, that's great stuff. Look how easy this is.
Yes, so Morgan Wells, please contact me at CFAL 502-7010, Claudia Thompson, and we would like to do a photo with you, presenting you with the $1,000. And again, congratulations.
My, oh my, that is wonderful. That's great stuff. This
So
is
$2,200.
Look at that.
For Christmas shopping.
Yes.
Spending.
Wow.
And
Fantastic.
Thank you, Dwight. We know the pressure.
Yeah. Right. Other people say, yeah, you better call my number. But okay.
Yes,
Glad that Morgan is going to have a great one. And congratulations to everybody because it's been challenging. It really has. What a year. And to be able to stick with this and to almost make it look easy. And great stuff that you all are doing at CFAL. Wonderful. Helping people there. Claudia, thank you so much.
Thank you, too.
And again, for people who want to be a part of this next year, what do they need to do again?
They need to go to CFAL's website, cfal.com, between January 3rd and January 20th and sign up electronically. And if you have any questions, just give us a call at 502-7010. We will be advertising later this month and all throughout January.
Fantastic. And anything else exciting planned for 2023 from CFAL?
Well, right now, I know of the CFAL holiday savings, and I know we've done the cruise port in the past, but I think we're taking a little bit of a breather.
Okay.
What do you say, Pam?
I think one of the things that we are doing this Christmas holiday, a lot of persons ask about gift certificate. Getting a gift certificate for a loved one, help them invest, start a savings plan.
Oh,
I know,
wow.
like I have 6 god kids. Most of them are grown now, and so every Christmas it was such a challenge picking a gift because their parents covered it. And you know how kids go when they were younger. They look at a gift and they're excited for that first 5 minutes, and afterwards they kind of
Yeah.
like throw it down, and
By New Year's, it's done.
and it's
Broken.
exactly right. And so one of the things that I did on a few Christmases was to just buy a gift certificate. Took the money that I would have used to purchase the gift and just invest in one of the CFAL products on their behalf. And so
Nice.
that's what we are offering to persons now. So any one of the CFAL products that you would want, we have our mutual funds with a minimum investment of $1,000. We also have the savings plan or even Advantage with a minimum investment of only $100. So we are encouraging persons to consider that as a gift
That's a
certificate.
great
So if you
idea.
have godkids or kids, and if every year you're buying, even if it's $100 into a plan for them, it's collecting interest while it just sits there. And so it's a good
Yeah,
gift to give
yeah.
someone to start a savings plan, and they can continue it on. If you're an adult,
Yeah, I was
you
gonna
can
say.
buy it for an adult,
Yeah.
and once they bring their due diligence document, it will be transferred over into the adult's name.
Excellent. That's a great gift. That's a wonderful idea. Thank you so much. All right. Claudia Thompson with CFAL. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Claudia. Great
Thank
job.
You. Good morning. Good morning, Bahamas, and thank you so much to the holiday savings participants. We appreciate you. Have a great time and Merry Christmas to
Yes. Merry Christmas to you as well. And congratulations again to Morgan Wells and to everybody who took part in the plan. Thank you. All right. We're going to take another break and then be back with more Morning Blend Business here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
Have a holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time of
Ready to
the
save?
year.
You can put $100 into the CFAL Savings Express Plan and make sure your money keeps growing. Earn interest on your savings while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit CFAL.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
A local paper in Grand Bahama is back every Tuesday as a section of the Nassau Guardian. Available at local stores, gas stations, pharmacies, Western Bakery, and Bellevue Gifts. Daily and, of course, on Tuesdays too. Want to reach your Grand Bahama audience? Then call Barefoot Marketing at 827-4578 or message them for ad rates via their Facebook page. Advertising opportunities now include classified ads too. Keep up with all the latest Grand Bahama news in the Guardian newspaper every Tuesday.
I used to think of the bank as my personal ATM machine. If I wanted a new car, new furniture, a weekend trip to Miami, no problem. Just max out the credit card or top up my loan. I was a big baller until I realized that 75% of my salary was going to pay back all those loans. Fidelity's personal financial coaching was the best solution. Fidelity gave me a plan with a debt consolidation loan that has a built-in savings that pays 5% interest. I now only have one low monthly payment plus money in my pocket. Give Fidelity Bank a call at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit any of Fidelity's locations or visit a website at fidelitygroup.com.
We're back here with Morning Glen Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Pamela Musgrove. And our final few minutes, just wanted to talk about a couple issues in the Guardian Business section that are pretty interesting. The hotel, BHTA, Hotel and Tourism Association, they had their AGM on Friday. And the president talking about the high cost of doing business hindering tourism in the country. We're going to get to that in a second. The other story that's caught our eye, BPL looking to increase its hedged fuels to 71%. Are we in the twilight zone? Anyway, okay. So Chester Robards writing about this. Bahamas Power and Light hoping to carry out another hedge That will take the quantity of the company's hedged fuel to around 71%, according to the company's CEO, Siobhan Cambridge. On Friday, Cambridge was also at the Bahamas Hotel and Tourism Association's annual general meeting, and on Friday explained that 54% of BPL's fuel is currently hedged. 54%. He explained the company did not increase its volumes earlier this year, given that oil prices remained elevated. However, Cambridge said prices are beginning to abate as costs were $123 per barrel and are likely now to level out around $72 per barrel. So Cambridge says, quote, what we're finding now is as we seek quotes monthly to determine when we want to ramp up our volumes, is that the prices are going down and that it's becoming a little bit more palatable for us to hedge. He noted, quote, I wish to dispel the notion that hedging is about making money. We hedge to provide price stability, and that price stability assists us with our budgeting and hopefully can assist you as well. We have an internal hedging committee, and that hedging committee works along with our hedge market makers, which is the IDB, the Inter-American Development Bank. They do the hedges for us based on our instructions. And hedging isn't free. Whether you win or lose, you pay a premium. Cambridge explained that when the Bahamas began hedging in 2020, around 80% of the fuel used was from the program. 80%. He said that while people think the company purchases hedged fuel based on the type of fuel the company needs, the reality is the company hedges on one oil market, Brent crude, and that Brent closely follows the mix that they use at BPL. All right, so I guess, Pam, are you interpreting this way? And this is what we kind of heard from BPL and the government, that at the time that it was time to renew the hedge, the prices had gone up so much it wasn't making sense. That's what we've been hearing from finance. But at this time, when prices are down, it's now a good time once again to hedge.
Yeah. But that's the risk.
Yeah.
If you have a hedge and it expires at a certain point, then if prices are high and you lock in those prices at the high level and the price go down, then you are out of the money.
Right.
But like he mentioned, hedging is not about profitability. It's about that stability.
Right.
And so you can't wait until it expires before you decide what to do. These are stuff that are negotiated well in advance. So you must have people watching,
right,
so that they know when to enter and at what point do they enter into contracts, and which is, I think, a good thing for us considering that we import it. So we need to have some type of hedging program in order to have that stability in prices for fuel.
So, I mean, that's a good way to explain it. I don't know if in the earlier conversations where we were talking about hedging, if folks were doing a good enough job about explaining that you didn't want to get locked in to that very high-priced Brent crude a few months back when that last hedge was expiring, and that now it makes more sense to do it. But hey, okay. Well, we will wish them the best, and hopefully they can get something locked in for a good while there, and that will help us with the fuel, with the bills that we see. But so all that talk about what we're going to be seeing over the next few months, is that going to still be the case, or does that not change for a while when they seek to lock in this price? Again, I'm saying, because we're being told that every few months we're going to see a few more cents
Probably
added to the
still will
kilowatt
be,
hour.
probably
Yeah.
still will, yeah.
So we still have this headache to deal with for at least a few more months.
I just think BPL is a disappointment, considering that it's the only game in town for many of us. I mean, how do you bankrupt a monopoly? And I think that's the challenge. Because of BPL's financial difficulties, that is affecting the level of service that they provide for us.
Yeah.
Right? You're the only shop in town to get electricity, and we still cannot get affordable, reliable energy.
Right.
I think that's a challenge, and it's really a burden to households and to businesses. Absolutely. When you have to take a large chunk of your income to pay for a subpar standard level of service.
My goodness.
And I don't know how how you fix that. I don't know, the bigger companies want solar, and they don't allow them so much to use the alternative energy because that's their source of income. And so we're all being penalized for that. But something needs to happen, and I think that will help a lot with economic growth.
Yeah.
If you're taking all of your income and putting it towards electricity bills and still cannot have a reliable service, that's going to eat into economic activities and affect economic growth at the end of the day. And it's important.
And as people say, it's going to hinder our ability to attract other investors and other types of industries to
It
the
is
country.
hindering us now.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's hear what you have to say about it, folks. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. All right. So the other stories we mentioned, at the conference, the AGM, BHTA, the high cost of doing business hindering tourism. Chester Robards again writing about it as an extremely high-priced destination. Extremely high-priced destination. The Bahamas will have to work hard to improve its market share as pent-up demand falls away and a U.S. recession threatens, and as people, especially Americans, look once again at long-haul travel. That's according to BHTA President Robert Sands. Sands again addressing that AGM, saying that the Bahamas' competitors are very mindful of their need to re-engage their source markets and dedicated customers and to reinvigorate their tourism products. But he says that the Bahamas has many hurdles to vault in the game of tourism competition in the region, with the cost of doing business in this destination atop the list of obstacles to clear. Sands said, quote, "The cost of doing business in the Bahamas is one of the most daunting obstacles that lays in our path. It has a direct, immediate impact on the cost of goods and services in our country, and the tourism industry is not immune to this reality. We are already a high-priced destination. It's expensive to get here. It's expensive to stay here. It's expensive to eat, drink, and enjoy all that the Bahamas has to offer. It is our reality and one that likely will not change. While pricing has not stymied our recovery, we cannot think for a moment that people will pay any price to enjoy the Bahamas." He said, with price as the top influencer of a traveler's decision to go to a destination, the country must urgently address the issues associated with the cost of doing business and deploy the fixes. I mean, I'm going to stop right here. I mean, this is one of the main excuses why Bahamians use as to why they don't go to the rest of the Bahamas, right? Because of the cost. And I don't know why we think other people are just going to be so willing to pay those costs. We refuse to pay it, many of us. So, and we're not doing anything about it. We've just been saying that for years, 20, 30 years. Oh, it's just too expensive to go to those islands, and just move on.
But I don't understand because, I mean, the cost of the business index, where they determine where we are in terms of the cost of doing business, we are always high on
10.
the list, right? And so, but they tell you, they have the categories to show where we are lacking. And I don't understand how we haven't had officials that come in say, you know what, we're just going to double down and focus on this one at a time.
No.
One at a time.
Instead, they question how they came up with that.
Yeah.
Right? As if you don't live here.
Deflection.
Right.
More deflect from it.
How do they get these numbers? What do you mean? Don't you live here? Don't you go to the stores? Don't you try to stay in a hotel? Don't you try to do these things? It's very clear how they came up with that number. And the fact that the roads are in the state they're in, and then you damage your vehicle daily by driving into it, and it costs so much to bring in a tire, to bring in the parts. What do you mean?
Because that's at the border. You get the customs, and you get the duty, and all of these things that they add to it, and plus it just yeah. You know, I know somebody. Let me give you an example. Like, bought upholstery in, right? They order it, and it was like, but $4,000 or $5,000
Upholstery? Okay.
And the cost to land was like 85% of that $4,000 or $5,000 that you had to add to it. Now, they bought that in. Imagine if that was a store that bought that in.
That's why it's so expensive.
And then they have to mark up for the employees. You have to mark up for your electricity. You have all the other markups
Security.
that you have to put before you even get a profit.
Yeah.
You see how difficult it is? And so when we walk in stores and we see these high prices,
Yeah.
we're like, oh,
We think they're trying to rob us and
Yeah,
they're trying to
for the
be
most part, but
horrible,
that's what
selfish,
happens.
but their costs are extremely high.
so we pay, the payment was very high, and we pay a lot because of all of these added costs. And I know this is a way for government to make money with the duty and all of that, but it is affecting economic growth, and it's affecting survival in our country.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's only getting worse. As you said, no one seems to be addressing it. Just
Because
like,
they're not
oh, well.
addressing the problems that we have.
Yeah.
The focus is only to get more, to go to that well, that dry well, and to
Yeah.
get more and more money without addressing why is it so high?
Yeah.
Why is the cost to do business or the cost to live in this country is so high?
Nobody cares. And it's just you creating a situation of just haves and have-nots, and you just got to make sure that you're part of the haves team. And if you're a have-not, do whatever it takes to become a have. And you know what that means for a lot of people, sadly. And we're just like, oh, well, I'm just going to have to use my haves money to buy more security and to put bigger gates around all my stuff, and then I'll be fine. But all that is doing, again, is driving up the cost of living here. But anyway, let's continue with the article. Sands outlined as looming problems the cost of power in this country, which we just said, the cost of labor and crime. Yep, everything we just mentioned. Sands says, quote, the cost of power in this country is one of the highest bottom line expenses we face as business owners and operators. As you know, we have met with BPL on the most recent announcement regarding the significant increase in the cost of the fuel surcharge, and that is why you will see BPL CEO Siobhan Cambridge and team members Nadine Eugene here in the room with us. We asked Siobhan to join us so that you can hear directly from the proverbial horse's mouth BPL's short, mid, and long-term plans to stabilize the cost of electricity and to address long-standing grievous issues, frequent power outages, spikes, and brownouts, particularly on our family islands. In addition, the BHTA has asked for a seat at the table with BPL and other private and public sector representatives to discuss how we can collaborate to accelerate efforts to transition to alternate, environmentally friendly energy solutions. With labor, Sands said, quote, we have stated publicly as key private sector partners with the government and employers of similar scale that we are aligned with the government's perspective that an increase to minimum wage is due. The topic has been on the table of discussion between the public and private sectors for some time. However, this essential component of our business model cannot be viewed in isolation, and it is imperative that this mutual topic of interest be discussed candidly and collectively with all participants' interests in mind. We commit to continuing our efforts to assist in the design and deployment of a holistic strategy which will achieve all that we collectively seek to accomplish, a thriving, resilient, sustainable, diverse economy that befittingly supports a population comprised of a diverse range of micro, small, medium, and large business owners, operators, and employees, the public sector and quasi-public sector agencies and their employees. According to Sands, one advancement that is already occurring is to have vacation home rental owners pay their fair share of taxes due to the tourism industry. Why are you laughing at this, Pam? What's funny? Oh, boy.
Well, see, okay, charge them taxes, but give them on a pro rata basis the benefits and concessions that you give the hotel.
Uh-oh.
How about that?
Oh, my Lord.
Charge them taxes, because this is you want them to pay taxes for this industry, but then give them some concession or incentives. Because they're really helping the economy out, because we don't have sufficient room inventory for the visitors.
Especially in the family islands. Yeah.
They don't. So okay, charge them the taxes, but give them some concessions back as well.
Yeah. Well, on crime, Sands said, quote, value for money means we need our guests to feel safe, secure, and welcome in our destination. We want them to be able to interact with our people, explore our islands, and enjoy our beautiful environment with enthusiasm, not trepidation, without feeling hassled or unsafe. I've been vocal in our message that safety and security are vital for our tourism industry. We must work with our public sector partners, such as the police force, our defense force, and other like agencies in our fight against crime. Okay. Let's get your reaction to that really quickly. This person says here, great show. We don't even have a middle class of people anymore, Dwight. Well, I don't know. And you think we are middle class, but actually we are not. Well, I don't know if I go that far, but it is challenging. It feels more challenging than ever.
I know of a number of persons who've left and went to Canada. And I mean, more than 5. I
Yeah.
think that's it.
It's a
Young
whole bunch.
families. Because the quality of life and living is much better, even if your kids have to go to public school, than it would be living in the country.
Yeah.
It's just too difficult to live.
And the silence on that, right? Because there's a lot of people. Everybody knows a lot of people. And the silence is like, well, that's good. That's fewer people who will have to, I don't know, need assistance or will need to be fighting in the job market. And that's how it seems to be from officials.
But see,
that
we
they
need
just
these
seem to be
people.
right. We do need them
because
They're
we
great
need
skills.
the tax dollars.
Yeah, well, that
because
too.
if you're trying to maximize your tax dollars from minimum wage income, that is not going to be healthy or profitable for the country.
Yeah.
So we need these people. We need these expertise here so that they could be paid more, and then that could contribute to the building of our economy through taxes.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we're going to leave that there. Pick up today's Nassau Guardian and the business section to read about that. Some very interesting points raised by Robert Sands and the Hotel and Tourism Association. But these are things that 5 years ago were being complained about. 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
Go
right?
back.
20, 25, 30. I might as well go to 300 like the number we just drew. Right? And we're here still.
Because we're not addressing them. We're not addressing them in any meaningful way.
Yeah.
We're not.
And in 5, 10, 15 years, we'll likely still
If
be
we
talking about it.
continue on this path.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
And we're going to be knowing more people who've moved to Canada and even further away.
We may be.
It might be us. I would have. Anyway. Pam, I'll see you next week.
Thank you, Dwight. Have a blessed week, Bahamas.
And I'll be back tomorrow morning with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business right here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan, have a great day, everybody. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green coming up next.
People making lists, buying special gifts, taking time to be kind to one and all. It's that time of year when good friends are dear, and you wish you could give more than just presents from a store. Why don't you give a love on Christmas Day? Even the man who has everything would be so happy if you would give a love on Christmas Day. No greater gift is there than love. Da-da-da-da. Oh yeah. Dee-dum. People you don't know smile